Welcome back to Q&A with HPK. This is our Social Security Matters segment. And why does Social Security matter? Number one, it's big. You've paid a lot of money into the system, and most likely throughout your lifetime you will collect hundreds of thousands of dollars, and some of you maybe even over $1 million into your household from Social Security. Number two, it's complicated. There are over 2,700 rules in Social Security, and many people believe it's as complicated as the tax code. And number three, this information is hard to find. If you go online looking for information about Social Security, you will most likely come away with more questions than you found answers. And it's hard to get this information directly from the understaffed Social Security Administration. In particular, information customized to your needs. So it's big, it's complicated, and this information is hard to find. This is the third video in a series of 3 about how to get the largest check possible from Social Security. In the first video, I talked about how your earnings throughout your lifetime affect your Social Security benefit. In the second video, I talked about why it might make sense to delay as long as possible collecting Social Security. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the reductions that you might suffer while collecting a Social Security check. So there are 2 reductions that you really should be aware of if you're collecting Social Security. The first is if you continue to work while you are collecting an early Social Security benefit. And by early, I mean prior to your full retirement age. For those of you born in 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67. If you are collecting any sort of benefit prior to the age of 67, in 2022, if you make more than $19,560, that's a W-2 or self-employment net income, if you make more than that while collecting an early Social Security benefit, they might reduce your benefit. The reduction is $1 for every $2 over $19,560 in 2022. But again, that's only if you're collecting an early benefit. If you are collecting benefits at your full retirement age or later, you make as much money as you want and you don't suffer this reduction. But for any sort of benefit that you are collecting prior to your full retirement age, there could be a reduction if you are over the annual limit of W-2 or self-employment net income. So that's the first reduction. The second reduction is taxation. Now, taxation is not age dependent. Anybody collecting Social Security benefits may be subject to taxation of your Social Security benefits. Yes, for many years, politicians would beat their hands on the table and say there will never be double taxation of Social Security. But right now, your Social Security check could be taxed. And here's how it works. If you are filing individually, if your combined income, and I'll just describe combined income here in a second, but if your combined income is between $25,000 and $34,000, up to 50% of your Social Security benefits could be considered taxable. Filing individually over $34,000 of combined income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could be considered taxable. Now, if you're married filing jointly, if your combined income is $32,000 to $44,000 per year, up to 50% of your Social Security benefits could be considered taxable income. Over $44,000 for married filing jointly, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could be considered taxable. The question should be, what is combined income? The easiest way to think about combined income, it's pretty much everything. This is a unique calculation in the tax code specific to Social Security. Combined income is your adjusted gross income plus non-taxable interest. That's right, if you have interest from municipal bonds, it's included in your combined income for Social Security purposes, and then 1/2 of your Social Security benefits. You add those together and that's your combined income. So it is a unique calculation to Social Security in the tax code, and you should be aware of it because it does include things that are normally not taxable. One of the other questions that you should ask yourself is what's not included in combined income. There are several things, but 2 to note. 1, money that you're taking out of a Roth IRA is not in your combined income. So if all of your income is coming from a Roth IRA in your retirement, then it might be easier to avoid the taxation of your Social Security. Another notable is life insurance proceeds, whether that be death proceeds or cash value of life insurance will not be included in your combined income. So from a planning perspective, before you start collecting Social Security, think about those sources of income, the 2 that I just mentioned, Roth IRA and proceeds from life insurance. Consider building those up, and you might be able to avoid the taxation of Social Security later in life. So, if you are collecting Social Security, think about these two reductions. One, if you're collecting early and you have W-2 or self-employment net income, and two, the taxation of Social Security and how you might make adjustments prior to collecting Social Security. Give us a call and we can help you answer some of these things. We can be reached at 833-HPK-PLAN, 833-HPK-PLAN. We incorporate Social Security planning into our overall financial planning process, which we call the DREAM process, D-R-E-A-M. D stands for discover. We discover more about you and what you want to accomplish. The R stands for reduce stress. Everybody has money stress. If you don't have enough money, you want more money. If you have a lot of money, you're worried that it's all going to get taxed. The E in DREAM stands for expectations, what you expect of us and what we expect of you. The A is the actual action steps. What are those things that we can be doing right now towards your financial goals? And then the M in the DREAM planning process is move forward. What are we going to do to move forward and monitor your plan to make sure that you're on track? So we can incorporate the Social Security planning into an overall DREAM plan for you. Contact us at 833-HPK-PLAN.